don't even know if I'm gonna put this in, but because I know fat is such a derogatory term, and it's judgy, and it implies that I thought that that was something that was disgusting, but I just knew that I had on my body. It was like I covered myself in Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different. In my 50-pound watch me shrink video, I mentioned that I had dealt with depression, and I had a few ladies reach out and ask me about that and about my experience. One of my subscribers did ask me specifically if the depression was before or after I gained all the weight. So pretty much, did you gain weight because of the depression, or did you fall into the depression based on all the weight gain? And I thought that was such an interesting question. It did encourage me to do some deeper thinking about that period in my life. Naturally, I am a high energy, very positive, outgoing, fun person. I don't like to sit around. I don't like to just be bored. I don't like to be in a down mood. It's something that I'm very uncomfortable with. Even talking right now in this video, like, not being high energy and smiley is kind of like, it's against my nature, especially since I'm having such a great day. I noticed that I was going into a depression when I strongly disliked everything about my life. When I started noticing that I just wished that I could just pluck myself out of the life that I was living and into someone else's life or just another situation. When I felt like I just wanted to literally just disappear or run away. I was in a very serious relationship. I had been with that person for many years, and I just felt very unhappy in that relationship. Even though this person is a very wonderful person, I felt like I wasn't being true to myself by being with that person. I didn't like my job anymore. I hated going to work. I didn't like the people that I was working with. I felt, again, like I was settling in everything that I was doing pretty much. I had started to isolate myself. Whereas before I was very outgoing, a lot of friends, tons of friends, people always around me, going out several times a week, at least 3 times a week, going out, lunches, dinners, parties, clubs. I was always, hanging out and going out and having people around me. I had literally started to never go out. I started not going out ever at all. The more I felt these unhappy feelings with my life, I went to food for comfort, for pleasure. The more unhappy I felt, the more I would eat, and now I'm feeling fat. And the guy I was with at the time, he never made it seem like I was becoming less attractive. He was, he found me just as sexy, just as powerful, like whatever. Like I was the same to him in his eyes, or at least that's how he came off to me. It's like no one ever said, you're getting big. You know what I mean? I felt like I was being treated the same by the people closest to me. I don't think anyone else thought I was disgusting, or that I was unsightly, or that I was not sexy anymore. It was how I felt. That's how I started to feel about myself, especially once I did start getting on that scale and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm almost 200. Oh my gosh, I'm 200. Oh my gosh, I'm over 200 pounds now. And that's when I felt fat and I felt disappointed in myself. And that feeling of more and more dissatisfaction with myself and the way that I was living life and the way that I felt like I wasn't being true to myself. I was living a life that wasn't me. It just wasn't me. Everything about my life at that point was just like not me. The more I woke up every day living that life, the more I started to sink down and down and down into sadness and into hiding and into depression. I had these moments where I was fighting. I was trying to fight for myself. I really was. But what I did here ended up sending me into, that is when I got sent into the deepest part of depression. In an attempt to find satisfaction with life and stay true to myself, I left my job. And at the time, I didn't even know what my dreams were, to be honest. So really what I did was I quit my job in order to pursue anything else that would make me happy. Me and my boyfriend, we were living together, and he said, okay, that's fine. That did make things feel better. I felt free. I did try to start working out again. I was doing a lot of self-education. I started to feel a little bit better, but the problem was I still felt like I was completely alone. I already had started to seclude myself, remember? But at least I was getting up and going to work every day. But now that I'm not leaving the house, like I would just stay in the house, and I started to feel even more secluded and more lonely. That was when I started to become heavily dependent on my boyfriend emotionally. I started putting so much on him to make me happy. And obviously a person can't live up to that. One human being cannot be the lifeline of happiness for another human being. So of course he fell short, and I started to become so resentful and bitter, and no one could do anything right. None of my family members, no friends, him, no one lived up to what I thought they should be doing, who I thought they should be in their lives or towards me. I was just generally just disappointed in everyone and everything anyone did. We started to argue a whole lot more. I was crying all the time. I would be devastated if my boyfriend wanted to go out for a couple of hours. I'm not talking like some dramatic antic that I would try to play to do some mind games where I really didn't really feel that way. No, in my heart and soul, I felt like him leaving the house and not being with me was a serious attack on me and our relationship. I started realizing, man, this is not healthy. Like, this is not a healthy way to behave. This is not a healthy way to live. Little by little, I stopped holding myself responsible for deciding exactly what I was going to be doing next. I would just stay at home day in, day out. I would just watch TV all day, Netflix or HGTV all day. I would eat all day. Remember in my How I Lost 35 Pounds video, I explained to you guys that like I would eat a ton of sweets. Like I would eat a whole box of donut sticks every single day. I would binge eat every single day, and I would watch TV. And the more I did that, the more weight I put on. The sadder I got, the more disgusted with myself I became, the more I wanted to stay inside because I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm really blowing up here and I don't want to be seen, and none of my clothes fit me. You know what I mean? And the things that I can wear, it just looks like I'm just trying to cover myself, and I don't feel confident, and I don't feel like myself, and I'm embarrassed. The more I lived in that way, I just like was depleted of energy. I feel like it would be so hard for me to get up and do anything. Because of that, the house, I let the house go. I would just always have an excuse, like I'm tired. And he was just so sweet to me, and he would just be like, I understand. I also let myself go. I wouldn't do my hair. I just really wouldn't take that good care of myself. Obviously, I wasn't exercising. I completely let myself go physically. I wouldn't put in any effort whatsoever. I just didn't have the strength to. Like, you may as well have been asking me to climb a mountain. I know some people might hear this and be thinking I'm being dramatic or that I'm exaggerating. But if you have ever suffered from depression or dealt with depression, you know that I am not dragging it out. Like, literally doing something as simple as washing dishes felt like you might as well be asking me to mountain climb, because I just did not have the energy to. I stopped wanting to make decisions, like just decision making. I guess, I don't know if I stopped trusting myself or I just didn't have the energy to make decisions. I started to rely on friends and family members to tell me what they think I should be doing. And I just felt so lost. I didn't know who I was anymore. I just started to rely more on friends and family to tell me what they thought was best for me. As I lived my life according to what friends thought, and I had, you know, some associates where I lived that I was listening to and taking life advice from, I just felt like I had, on top of that, all this pressure to do things that I didn't feel truly connected to. Like, I didn't feel like I had that heart connection, that passion for the things that I was being recommended to do. There came a moment, I woke up one day, got out of bed, and I said, okay, I'm gonna make myself probably a giant omelet or something. And I went into the kitchen, and there wasn't one dish available to use. I don't know what, I mean, it wasn't like it was an odd occurrence, but this day it was different. I looked, and I broke down. I went to the mirror, and I looked in the mirror, and I looked at myself, and I looked at how much weight I really put on. I like absorbed it in its entirety. And I just broke down crying, and I said, this is not me. This is not me. And I started getting pissed. I started getting so mad, and that was probably the best thing that I could have ever done for myself, was to get upset about it. I realized I was fat and depressed. It's like once I left my job, I knew that I had that pressure of living up to what I know I could do, and to start to pursue a life that was right for me. And it meant making some tough decisions. And out of fear, I started to cover myself in fat. I started to cover myself and started to really lower myself as a human being. That way I could live under the excuses. Well, I can't do it because I'm so tired and I have no energy and I'm so big and I don't want to be seen and I can't go outside. I can't fit any of these clothes. And it's like I created a situation where I had a plethora of excuses not to live life. And I looked in that mirror and I said, this is not me. I'm covered in this suit. I'm depressed and I'm fat. And I don't want to be this way anymore. So I cleaned the kitchen and I sat down and I said, okay, so what am I going to do? Like I said, I was in this like angry energy, okay? I was determined at that point. I'm not going to live like this anymore. I said, okay, what can I do? Because I know how I feel about myself and I know how I feel about putting myself into the world. What can I do? I've let myself go. Okay, I cleaned my kitchen. I let my house go, but I started off, I cleaned my kitchen. That's a start. What can I do right now? And what I ended up Googling was how to feel beautiful. That brought up a YouTube video, and I didn't even know that YouTube had things like for beauty and how to better care for yourself. I had no idea. I thought YouTube was for funny cat videos and stuff like that. That's literally all I thought it was. I didn't know there were communities of people trying to help each other and trying to better themselves in various ways. I don't remember the very first video that popped up, but it was something that I was like, huh, this is interesting. But I felt like, okay, I want to relate on a deeper way. So on YouTube, I typed in beauty tips for Black women, and Jackie Aina popped up. And I don't even remember what the video was, but it was just like basic beauty tips. And that started, I mean, literally the rest is history. That started, it was her, the Glam Twins, it was Shirley B. Inyang, I think is her name. It was Miss Rosh Posh. It was like, and oh my God, like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I am incredibly grateful for those women and the work that they do. And, you know, so many people think that the beauty community is so shallow, you know, and like the work that you do, you know, is it important work, and you're just overpaid and shallow, and you're you know, you're adding to the problem, vanity, and they couldn't be more wrong. Those ladies that I just named, all those ladies that I just named, I feel like they added to saving my life. Little by little, through the beauty community on YouTube, I learned how to start caring for myself again, and just to do small things that made me feel better. Learning how to do my makeup made me feel better. Learning how to care for my natural hair. I started finding natural hair videos and stuff like that. The thing that made the biggest difference was the fact that these girls, everyone that I just named and others, they were my friends. I didn't feel alone anymore. I know that can sound kind of pathetic, but honestly, I don't care. That's where I was in my life. I had isolated myself. I did not want to leave the house. I did not feel good about myself. They were there. They did not judge me. They were there to teach me something. They were positive influences in my life. And I felt wonderful. I just had YouTube on my TV screen 24/7, listening to makeup and hair. And then later I found fitness. Of course, I give credit to myself. We're responsible for our own lives. And I give credit to myself for getting angry enough to Google how to start taking care of myself. But then I give full credit to the different YouTube communities for helping me learn how to start taking better care of myself. And the more I would implement what I was learning, the more I felt empowered to take care of myself. The more I felt like, you know, hey, you know, I just did a fresh face of makeup and my hair looks nice, and, you know, now I'm learning about, you know, different weaves and wigs, and I've tried a few different exercises and stuff. Like, I don't want to eat. I don't want to overeat. I don't want to just sit around. You know, I feel good. Like, let's go outside. Let's go out tonight. You know what I mean? Or let's go meet up with your friends. You know, I have makeup on and I feel sexy. I was still over 200 pounds, but I felt more empowered. The more I started to give just a little attention at a time to myself, it started to snowball in the opposite direction. Things just got better and better. I got to a point where I started to realize how the dynamics of the relationships that I did have were affecting me, and how they had contributed to me hitting rock bottom. One was me giving people the power to make decisions for me. And it's not like they were like, you better do this, but I was living life according to what I felt others thought I should be doing. I got to a point where I was like, no. I'm gonna start doing what I think I should be doing. And another thing was, I had surrounded myself by some people, you know, the people that were the closest to me, and this is aside from my mom and dad, because they're just, you know, they're just wonderful. They've always been wonderful. But some people that were close to me, that were closest to me, were draining me. I felt like they were taking and never giving. Like, I was just giving, and I was already at such a low place that I didn't have much to give. Like, I wasn't even giving to myself, and I would sit on the phone for hours and hours listening to problems every day, day in, day out, for hours. I'm not kidding. It would be like 6 hours at a time that I would talk to some of these people, and they would just dump on me and take and offer nothing. Like, a lot of the time that I was dealing with this depression, I didn't even talk about this with anyone other than the guy that I was with. I realized that I had put myself in a situation to where the relational dynamics that I had surrounded myself with were not serving me. So I did two things. One, I said, fuck everybody. I only use curse words when I feel like they really stress a point. And in this situation, like I said, I went angry. Like, that's how I saved myself, was through anger and determination. And in that angry spirit, I guess you can say, I had to say, you know what? Fuck everybody. You know what I mean? F what they think I should be doing, F who they think I am, F all their needs and everything they want to take from me. I have to look out for myself, and I have to live true to me, because at the end of the day, I have to answer for my life, and I'm the one that has to live with it. I have to live this life, and I have to be happy with it. It's a mindset that you have to be in until you feel like you're full enough. Like, you have to feed into yourself and stay true to yourself first. Just like when you're on an airplane. What do they say? Secure your own mask first before you go to secure your kid's mask. It's the same concept in life. The Bible even says, worry about what's in your eye before you go trying to help somebody with what's in their eye. You have to take care of yourself first. Once you have secured yourself, absolutely, you can be there for other people and you can give a lot of time, energy, and effort to others, and absolutely we should, and that's why we have to take care of ourselves. I wanted to clear that up. That's not to say that I maintain this fuck everybody mentality. I live to give. So, but I now understand the importance of making sure I'm okay first. The second thing that I did was I put a huge highlight on self-care and self-love. And I made it my mission to live my happiest life through self-care. I realized that that's really the best place to start when it comes to living your happiest life, is just start taking care of yourself. You may have big life decisions to make when it comes to romantic relationships, friendships, career, parenting. You might have all these huge decisions that you know you have to make, and they're tough decisions, and you're not happy with the current standing of things. But I'm telling you, it's almost like magic. If you just start somewhere and start taking care of yourself, everything starts to roll into place. I know there are many, many women out there who can absolutely relate to my story, and they feel like they are where I was at that 215 pounds and depressed and no energy for life, no zest for life, just wishing they can just pluck themselves from where they are and into another situation completely. Start with self-care, start with self-love, a few steps every single day. Just get up, clean the kitchen, clean the living room, clean out your closet, clean your bedroom, do your hair, do your makeup, go do a workout, just go take a walk. Anything that adds to your self-care is a great place to start. If you're someone who feels like you need a little extra help, you need to partner with someone, I am a personal life coach and I specialize in self-discovery and transition. And I would be more than happy to help you. I am taking clients now. You can find all of my information down below. You can hit me up on Facebook, you can inbox me on Instagram, or you can send me a good old-fashioned email. I know what it feels like. I've been there. So if you do want one-on-one coaching, go ahead and reach out. I have my information down below. I want to ask you guys a question really quick. Hope my camera doesn't die on me, but what do you think about doing a video on cheat days? I did have an awesome subscriber ask me about my cheat days and my thoughts on cheat days, and I definitely do have cheat days. I just didn't know whether or not that topic would be demotivating, or if it's just like, you know me, I like to just be 100% transparent. I like to keep it real, and I would love to, show you guys how I get down on cheat days. So let me know what you think. Should I do a cheat day video, I guess you can say? How would you feel about it? Would you like it? Would you think, oh, I don't think it fits? You're supposed to be encouraging people to do the right thing, not cheat on their diet. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, okay? And do not forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and always remember to take care of yourself. See you next time.